welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sam, otherwise Betsy, and this is episode number 54, and this is where I chat about my knitting and crochet and sewing and share my projects with you. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. You can find me as Betsy Makes here on YouTube obviously, and also as Betsy Makes on Instagram and Ravelry, as well as betsymakes.co.uk, which is my online shop. Today I've got some thank yous to do. I've got some finished things, two finished things actually, and lots of works in progress to share with you to see what you think. So it is the 8th of March 2020 and I'm coming to you from Bedford, UK. And it's quite a lovely spring day. It's quite windy outside, but the sun has been shining and it's been really nice, and I've actually put some washing out on the line. So the wind is whipping the towels nice and dry, hopefully, for me. And yeah, it's been quite a nice morning actually. I've been out with my little girl on her bike, and also she's had her riding lesson as well, which she really enjoys. So yeah, it's been quite a productive morning already, but I did think I'd take a little bit of time out to record a podcast. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who left a comment or sent a message to me after my last recording. Shared a bit of personal stuff with you there, and I've just had so much love back from you all that it's been fantastic. Thank you so much. Each and every message and comment has meant so much to me, and I really want to let you know how much I do appreciate it. I've also had lots of coffees bought for me as I've got a coffee button. Thanks for that as well. Can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I've got some plans to share some free patterns and whatnot, so you know, it's nice to have that coffee button and to sort of give and take a bit. But yeah, thanks ever so much to everyone who's bought me a coffee. Thank you. And also I'd like to say a thank you to Beth, who has sent me a pattern gift via Ravelry. It's a pattern called Let It Be, and it's a crochet hat pattern, and it is so cool. I'm really excited about making it actually. I've been thinking about what yarn I can use. So Beth, thank you so much for gifting that to me. That was really kind. And also Lizzie sent me a gift in the post. I'll show you actually. I got a lovely handwritten card from her, which is that. It's really pretty. It's really pretty actually. And in it she's written some lovely things actually, some really nice words, and brought a tear to my eye. Included in the package is this little mini book, Keep a Positive Attitude, and there's some really nice things in there actually, some really nice little sayings and it's a nice little read, so that's really cute. And also this lovely hanging decoration, Someone Special, which is pretty, isn't it? I'm going to think of where I can hang that actually, because it's so pretty. Just really love it. Lizzie, thank you so much. I don't actually know your username on anything. It's not in the card, I don't think. So, but I just wanted to say a big thank you for thinking about me and sending me the little gifts and the card. It's meant so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys are awesome. I do feel I'm very lucky to be included in this loving and generous community of ours. So I'm going to go on to some finished objects first, some finished things. The first is my Flower Shock socks, and this is a pattern by Anna Freiberg. So I finished these. These are my Christmas Eve cast on actually. So I cast them on the 24th of December 2019. And then I made one, and then I didn't do anything on the second one. I was suffering a little bit with second sock syndrome, but yeah, I soon got over that, and with the help of you guys who were shouting support from the sidelines for me, and I cast the second sock on and made them. Now the yarn I've used for this is Mr. B yarns. Let me get the tag actually to show you because it's easier. So Mr. B yarns, and it was Kissing Santa Minis, which is a 75-25% superwash merino nylon blend. And yeah, Christmas colours, which is why I use them for my Christmas Eve cast on actually. Lovely and soft, really blocked up nicely. I gave them a little wash and block, and they've been sitting on these gorgeous sock blockers. The pattern is toe up as far as I remember. It's a toe up pattern, and I generally knit my socks cuff down, so I did convert it and just retyped out the instructions to be the other way around. So yeah, I did a German short row heel and just quite a basic wedge toe on there. Yeah, so they're pretty. I use one mini, obviously the red mini I use just for the heel and these sections here, the plain green for the toe and the cuff, and then the speckly ones for the bits in between, which is really nice. I had a tiny weedy bit of this left, this red, but the rest of it I had a fair amount left. So they're lovely, aren't they? I'm really pleased with them. Nice stitch pattern. Two by one ribbon. Just trying to remember because it's a 64 stitch pattern, but I think you need 63 stitches because it's divisible by 3, and then you increase 1. Is that right? Something like that anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't have had enough yarn to do this red stripe again there, and also the socks would have been too long anyway, so I finished them off like that, just went straight into the green toe. But I love these. Now lovely Ali, starry-eyed Ali, suggested that I should wrap these up and gift them to myself for next Christmas, so I think I will do that. But I wanted to show you first.
Up on the housetop, reindeer paws, out jumps good old Santa Claus, down through the chimney with lots of toys, all for the little ones' Christmas joys. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click, 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 down through the chimney with...
So that's my first finished thing. My second finished thing is something for my little girl. I showed this book last time, which is Sewing Clothes for Barbie, which my mother-in-law bought for me actually, but you can get it on searchpress.com, and excuse me, there's loads of different outfits, obviously you can see on the front. And little Lena Jane, I asked her to choose which one she wanted to make first, and she chose In the City, this one. So I thought, okay, now she would have liked a cream coat as it is in the photo, but I didn't have any cream wool fabric. I traced off the pattern pieces, you can see actually, I'll show you. as part of the jumpsuit. There's a coat piece. That's the sleeve of the coat. So yeah, my little pattern piece is the back of the coat. Excuse me. Yeah, so she chose In the City. So this is what we came up with. This fabric is actually an old skirt of little Lena's. It's far too small for her. So I cut that up and made the little coat. This is fabric that I've got set aside to make a skirt for myself one day. So I just pinched a bit to make the scarf, just frayed the ends. And I'll take the coat off actually. Although this Barbie's got a bent arm, so it's quite difficult sometimes to get clothes on and off her. Take the scarf off. Oh, dropped it there. So this is the trouser jumpsuit with sort of little imitation painted leather straps. I didn't have any Velcro, so I just used some poppers, these type of poppers on the back. Just sewed those on instead. I would have used Velcro if I had some. But yeah, I did have to make a little bit of adjustment. It was a bit long for her. And what else did I do? I think the top was a bit tight, so I made it a bit wider to fit round her enough to be able to do it up at the back as well. Yeah, that's her little jumpsuit. She's got her little coat, which is now fraying. Coat there. And obviously the scarf that I've dropped on the floor. But yeah, I'll see if she wants another one made. She didn't choose the one I thought she was going to choose actually. The other one she likes is like a summery dress, but I can't find it quickly, I don't think. So yeah, I'll show you when I've made another one. But they're actually not too bad to make. They're not as fiddly as I was worried they would be. So thanks for all the tips and encouragement I got for making the dolly's clothes as well. Yeah, she really likes that outfit. And it doesn't take too long to make, so it's actually quite a sweet thing to do, really. Yeah, I'll probably make her some more. So I'll go on to works in progress now. I've got a few to share with you, some that you've seen before, I think. Actually, yeah, I think I've got 4. 3 of them you've definitely seen before at some point in time. The first one is my honey shawl, and the pattern is Nurmalintu by Heidi Alander, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. This yarn I'm using is some I dyed in colour Harvest Moon, which is lovely, and it's a speckly sock yarn, my perfect sock base. I am running down my shop. There's a few bits still left in my shop, but I am winding down my shop. I won't go into that now. If you watched my last podcast, you'll know why. But yeah. So it's garter stitch, starts off really tiny at this end, and obviously you increase, and then there's lace sections as well. So I'm just about to start, well, I have just started another lace section. I've got a little bee progress keeper on there. I use that to show the right side, especially when I'm just doing the plain garter section, because you do one thing for your wrong side row and another thing for your right side row. So I've just looked outside and it's pouring down with rain and my washing's out, so I'm just going to go and get it. Hold on. sorry about that. That serves me right a bit for doing a weather report, I think. So yeah, I've just dashed out to get the washing in, so I'm a little bit damp now. And my washing is damp, which is annoying because I think it pretty much dried. So I should have taken it in before I started recording. But never mind. I think it's just a shower actually, because there's quite a lot of blue sky around as well. So I think we're at that time of year when you just get short, sharp showers. Where was I? I was talking about my honey shawl. Yeah. Now, I have talked about this before. And when I first started to make this, I was using this mohair to do the lace sections. So this section here, just that bit there was in the mohair. However, I did pull it out obviously because I was just finding it too difficult. If I went wrong, it was too hard to pull back, and it was really easy to go wrong because sometimes I'd think because the yarn is so fine, I used to think that two stitches was one stitch because they'd sit close together. So I was making a lot of mistakes and then finding it really difficult to pull out. And I was just getting frustrated and grumpy with it, and I thought, oh, I'm just gonna frog it completely. And I thought, no, I won't frog it completely. I'll take it back to here and then knit it all in one yarn, which is how the design is originally actually. So it's much more enjoyable now I've got rid of the difficult part. So the lace, I still have to concentrate on the lace section, but it's just a lot easier with this yarn, this thickness. Even though this is 4-ply, it's still much easier to work with than the mohair. I just found it too difficult, and like I say, it's pulling it out to undo it, not against itself, and then I'd end up snapping the yarn, and it just wasn't happening. So I nearly gave up completely, but then I thought, no, I'll just make it in one yarn. So yeah, these are Knit Prosing needles. I'll show you this. These are them. Knit Prosings, which are quite nice to work with. They're very nice to work with. So yeah, that's coming along nicely and progressing. Actually, I had got up to the second, where I am now. That's where I'd got up to, and I'd started this section in the mohair, but like I say, I just kept going wrong, and there's no point doing it if it makes you feel like that, is there? So yeah, much happier now. I've pulled it back and I'm knitting it all in one yarn. The next work in progress is again something I've talked about before, and this is Francis's scarf, and the pattern is Feather and Fan Short Scarf by Kelly Fowler. I've got my notes there, you see, that's why I keep looking over that side. So here it is. Now when I showed this last time, that's where I was up to. So I put the little progress keeper, which is a little ball of yarn with needles. I deliberately put it where I was up to when I recorded last time to show my progress, and that's how much I've done since. So this is a present, a birthday present, and for Francis, and her birthday's the end of April. So I've got a little bit of time to do it. I probably should do some more. I'm going to move this up to here, so I'll be able to see my progress. But it's lovely, isn't it? It's beautiful. It's a lace yarn. I don't exactly know what yarn this is, because it was a gift from lovely Sonia, who's Pink Valley Creations. It's a beautiful pink colour, and it's lovely and soft, and it just makes a beautiful fabric, lovely and light and airy. It's gorgeous. It's going to block out lovely, isn't it? What are these needles? They're a 4.5 straight needle, Knit Pro Symphony they are. Yeah, Knit Pro Symphony in a 4.5mm. The pattern recommends a 5mm, but I know I'm quite a loose knitter, so I'm coming up quite nicely on these size needles. I think that looks perfectly fine like that. It is supposed to be light and loose, so that's just right. Actually, somebody asked me about this, my row counter. It's just a plastic one on there. It's probably, I can't remember, I got it from one of the online, probably Love Crafts actually, or something like that. You know how the big online yarn retailers, they often, in the UK at least, they offer free delivery if you spend over £25 usually. And so, you know, if your basket comes to like £23.07 or whatever, you might as well just add a small item in. And I've bought single buttons before just to get it up to the £25 point, so I don't have to pay delivery. But yeah, just a little row counter. This is a pattern repeat of 4 rows, and actually that's telling me I've done 107 rows. That's the picture. Again, I think this is a free pattern. But yeah, lovely. You do the lace work on 1 row, and then the other 3 rows are just either purl row or knit row. Oh, it's so soft and lovely. Thank you so much, Sonia, for gifting me this yarn. It's beautiful. So yeah, working my way on that. I'll move my progress keeper up so I'll know how much I've done when I record next time. So yeah, that's a nice little project to keep me going. Hopefully I'm not looking too windswept and rough. Right, I'll show you a bit of sewing actually, a little bit of patchwork I'm doing. I wanted to do some patchwork. I just get the urge to do it. I have my sewing machine set up here, and I can just pop in this room, even if I've just got 20 minutes to spare or something, you know, just to do a little bit. So, you know, nothing happens really quickly, but that's not the point. Just enjoy doing a little bit of sewing. And I've been making these 9 patch squares. These are fun to make because you cut strips. You need a strip with the print in the middle and the plain on the side, and another strip with the prints on the outside and the plain in the middle. You then cut those up into like the little, these are 1.5 inches. So you cut your strips 1.5 inches, and then you cut that 1.5 inches, and then you end up with your, once you sew them together, little 9 patch squares. And I'm actually making a cushion cover because I wanted to try out, what's it called? Irish chain quilting. I'll show you what I've done so far. Looks really pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, I love that. Held back. So I'll tell you where I got the idea from. I was watching Gainer's podcast, I think Tales from Cuckoo Land, I think it's called. And I was watching some older episodes, and she was, so I don't know what episode number it was, but she was sitting on a couch with a quilt over the back, and I think it's one that she raffled off to raise money for her son's school. Like I say, it was an older episode, and I was watching away, listening to her talk, and I was looking at this quilt behind her, and I thought, oh, I can see how that's made. That's made with these little 9 patch squares next to a plain square. But from a distance you get the effect of the chain. I just thought, oh, that's so pretty, I'd like to have a go at that, but I haven't got the time or the energy to make a whole quilt, so that's why I decided to do a cushion cover, and that's why my squares are so small, because oh, I really love it actually, that's why I keep holding it up. So yeah, I've done the front. I'm going to do the back exactly the same, I think, because it's such a small thing, and then I'll quilt it and bind it so the binding's visible, I think. So yeah, I just wanted to have a little play with a bit of patchwork, a little bit of sewing there, because it's very enjoyable. This is Kona Solids in snow, and all the other fabrics, I've got them in this bag here. I've got my little workings out of how big I want to do the cushion. And I've got plenty of the little bits in here. I still need to sew together all the bits of fabric in there. Some I've used, some I haven't. But I just find that quite therapeutic. Like I say, I come in here, I'm going to hold it up again because I love it so much. I come in here, you know, even if it's 20 minutes when I've just got home from work, just have a little play with my squares. It would look lovely as a complete quilt, it really would, but I think I'll just stick to the cushion cover. So yeah, quite enjoying doing that actually. And my last project that I'm working on, that I'm going to show you today, is a very old one. I started this, I wrote it down, in January 2016. That's over 4 years now I've been working on this blanket. I call it my scrappy patchwork blanket, but it's mitered square or sock yarn blanket. It's a cosy memory type thing. It is crochet. I can't show you it all. That's the last square I've done so far. Actually these three, those three there, and that one is from the socks. That's what's left over from these. Not the pink, I didn't have enough. And these two are from my Caravan of Love shawl. I made they're left over from that. That one, which is very pretty, I'm sure it's that one, that was gifted to me by Amelia, my lovely friend Amelia, and it's Life in the Long Grass. And then I've just got some different ones in there. So I've picked this up. This is the type of thing, actually I thought, I got to the point where I thought I'm never ever going to finish this blanket. I thought I'll just leave it. But I picked it up more recently. I don't really know why. I think it's probably because I've been seeing a few pop up on Instagram just lately. I know, well, when I say I've seen a few pop up, I'm talking about the knitted versions, the knitted mitered squares. I know lovely Jules from So Sweet Violet, she's got one on the go with really tiny little squares. And I think sometimes when people show their projects, it inspires you to start again. I'm just looking out the window and the sun's come out and it's lovely blue sky with white fluffy clouds, so just a shower that was, but it was on my washing. But yeah, some really lovely different ones in here. I really do not like that one. In fact, I dislike it quite intensely. But I love the other ones. I made a shawl in that. Made some socks in that Nora George yarn. That Jaffa Cake yarn, I've made my friend some socks in that. That was Sweeping Up the Leaves, a yarn I dyed, and I think that's Agency as well. That's something that I did. I started off, when I first started this, I had hardly any minis, and so a lot of them were, what are they called? My First Regia. You can get 25-gram balls of sock yarn called My First Regia, so I use those a lot. I think that's probably one of those. But then over the time I've collected more minis, and that's pretty, isn't it? That one. Dyed some, used some leftover things from other projects. So actually the fact that it has been going on a long time is good, because it's meant I have been able to do that and use up leftovers. So yeah, it's coming along well. And I have got a tutorial about how I make these mitered crochet squares. So just UK double crochet or US single crochet, whichever terminology you use. That's a pretty one. I think that might have been a little gift from Sandra, actually. Yeah, calling it a cosy memory blanket is quite apt, I think, because I am looking through it and thinking, oh yes, I remember this and I remember that. Got some socks in that. You know, it's a pretty colour, isn't it, that one? Yeah, some really gorgeous things in there. As I was saying anyway, I've got a tutorial on my blog. I will put a link in so you can find it if you want, about how to do these squares. Quite simple, really. But that's coming along. Hopefully I can keep up my momentum on it and do, you know, 4 or 5 squares a week, something like that. Still got a little while to go before it's finished. I don't even know exactly how big I'm going to make it. I don't think I'm going to make it a complete square. There's 17 squares across. 17 altogether across. And how many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've done 12 rows so far. And I definitely need to do more than 12 rows. I can't finish off just yet. But whether I'll do as many as 17, I'm thinking 15. It will make it an oblong, but I think it will make it a nice size one. And then border wise, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just do something really simple and basic, because there's so much going on. There's so much going on. It really is. It's really patchwork, isn't it? It looks like it should belong in a crofter's cottage, I think, something like that. But I love it for that reason. That's I dyed. And I crocheted a lovely shawl that Sandra designed. Yeah, could just go on forever, I think. Yeah, since I picked it up, I think I was... Oh, I can't remember, you know. I'll just hold it up for you to admire if that's okay. I think these little squares need a bit of a block actually, which I don't normally block blankets, but I have blocked this bit, and these sit a lot flatter and bigger as well than these ones. Seem a bit tighter and all sort of bunched up a bit. They need pulling out with a bit of a block. I'm using, even though it's 4-ply yarn, fingering weight yarn, I've got some in my eye now, I'm using a 3.5mm crochet hook. Needs to be nice and loose for this. You don't want a too tight tension because your squares will just curl up. You can see how that curls up. Ready. But once I've got the next row on, that will straighten out, and obviously, you know, when it's the last one, I'll put a border on to keep it straight, and I think I will sort of, well, I'll give it a wash anyway. It's been hanging around for so many years, it probably needs a bit of a freshen up. And I'll lie it all flat, and that hopefully should be enough to relax the yarn and let it lie flat. Anyway, I love this. I've fallen in love with it again. Like I said, I got to the point where I thought I'm never going to finish it, because there's some of the older, like some of these and that one, my first Regias, I don't love, but actually I think I've started to appreciate the patchwork, eclectic colour combination of it for what it is. So yeah, I have fallen in love with it again, so that's good. Like I say, I just want to keep up the motivation on it and the momentum. So that's all my projects actually. I've got loads of things in mind that I want to make, and I will do at some point. I'll show you something that I bought. So I was buying some needles for a future project, so I ordered some, and I saw this and I thought I might give it a try, because it's a silk sock yarn, Regia, 4-ply silk. I love the drawing of the sock on there. Love that sketch. This colour, what's this colour? Hold on. Oh, I've got raindrops on my glasses. Oh, it's just got a number. It's colour 45, but I think it's fig, but it's written in German. But it seems really lovely actually. I like the colour and I like how soft it is. And there's 100 grams on there, as you can see. But yeah, I thought I might give that a try. Find a nice pattern that I can use to make that. So yeah, that's all from me. I'll love you and leave you. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. I do always appreciate your visit. I will finish off with a little something from this book, because like I said, there's some nice little things in here, and I just thought I'd read it for you through my glasses with the raindrops all over them. It's 5 positive things about you, and this is for you because you're my friends. You are something and someone very special. You really are. No one else in this entire world is exactly like you, and there are so many wonderful things about you. You are here to shine in your own wonderful way, sharing your smile in the best way you can, and remembering all the while that a little light somewhere makes a brighter light everywhere. You can, and you do, make a wonderful contribution to this world. You understand that you and your actions are capable of turning anything around, and that joys once lost can always be found. Never forget what a treasure you are. That special person in the mirror may not always get to hear all the compliments you so sweetly deserve, but you are so worthy of such an abundance of friendship, joy and love. And that was written by Douglas Pagels, and it's from this cute little book, Keep a Positive Attitude, that was sent to me by lovely Lizzie. So thank you so much, Lizzie. Thank you everyone for being great friends to me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Catch up and crochet. Come in, let's catch up and crochet.